You know what? Heck it. We're gonna go back. We're gonna do that now. So again, I guess there must be some way to actually circumvent the traditional order of Dragon Roost, like key-wise, with the grappling hook. So we didn't soft lock after all, which I'm very happy about, to be honest. We can also do for all the Forbidden Woods. So I definitely think this is like the most exciting the randomizers felt in a bit, just from the perspective of the world is our oyster, as they say. So we have, yeah, we went from like 20 checks or something, most of which were Wind Temple, like 10 of them were. And now we're up to 92 accessible checks. So we gained about like 70 just by getting the grappling hook. So yep, we are in definitely much better shape. So again, this will definitely make things fun next time also, but also a little bit grindy. Wait, I have an idea. This is stupid, but I have an idea. This might blow up in my face, in all fairness, but we'll give it a try. I think this is gonna work, actually. Oh, good. That was, terrifying. Also, if we fall into the lava at any point, we have to do that again, so that'll be another fun wrinkle to all of this. Oh good, we have one bomb. If we had 0 bombs, we would be extraordinarily screwed. So I'm glad I switched to the arrows when we did, because otherwise, we'd have to come back for this later. Heart piece, not interested. So yeah, in the original you have to actually stop swinging to change direction. In a lot of mods like this, you can actually just keep swinging and turn, and Wind Waker HD also changes that, so there are a lot of mods to kind of make Wind Waker HD, or Wind Waker on GameCube feel more like HD, which is really nice. Because again, a lot of people like the quality of life, but don't like the excessive bloom filter over everything. I'm hit or miss on it, personally. I can see why people don't like it, but I also don't feel as strongly about it, but I'm also maybe just a shell for this game, because it is my childhood Zelda game. So I am more, like, generally forgiving over HD's changes. It's also weird because even though I grew up with Wind Waker, it also wasn't like a really like young childhood game, if that makes sense. Like I played it when I was like a teenager. So like, you know, childhood Zelda game in a very loose sense of the phrase. I'm just gonna save and quit. This is gonna suck otherwise. What other indie games are there? There's a lot of indies I still haven't played. A lot of them I own, it's just a matter of getting around to them. There's one I don't own that I want to play called Kitsune Tales, which is a Mario 3 inspired platformer that came out in August. It's one that I want to play, but I'm waiting to see how console performance is, because I'd rather play it on Switch than Steam. I'm not really a PC gamer, to be honest, and I just generally prefer playing games on hand. Like, I think it would fit Nintendo better just because it is Mario 3 inspired, but that might just be me, in the way I, like, think about games. I tend to be a little bit, like, weird about games, like, which ones I buy where. Like, if I can help it, I would prefer to own all games on the same platform in a series, and that might be a little bit excessive, actually, but it is genuinely something I try to do. For example, I own, like, you know, Bloodstained on Switch, even though I once said that version was bad, because I owned Ritual of the Night on Switch and wanted all the games on the same system. Oh, that's another game I need to play, is, Ritual, or Curse of the Moon 2, actually. I never played the second one, because everyone said it was kind of a pain. Oh, that's a problem. We don't have bombs, but luckily we are not supposed to have bombs here, so it's fine. It's harder. Yeah, I've heard it's a lot harder, and also it has, like, the mechanic where you have different storylines playing out. So, like, you're supposed to play it a bunch of times, like 4 or 5 playthroughs to get the true ending or something. So I never got around to it just because I was bracing myself for having to play through it multiple times. I mean, like, I could stop at one playthrough, but again, I generally like completing games. Yeah, I've heard the second run and third run also are very, very challenging. So yeah, I also feel like, especially, like, I could get through 1 on Classic. I feel like if I were to play Curse 2, I would probably just go straight to, I'd probably go straight to casual mode, or whatever it's called, the one where you actually have, like, more control over your jumps and everything, just because I feel like I wouldn't necessarily, Oh, you lose the character, it gives you easy regen. Oh. That was kind of my problem with Curse 1, actually. If I lost a character, I'd just be like, well, might as well just restart the stage, because I cannot get through without this character. Wait a minute, I just noticed something. It says Tingle Chest in the Hub Room, and then it says Tingle Statue Chest. And I'm like, what is that actually? Because I don't remember there being a Tingle Chest in the Hub Room. Oh, well that's a waste. Also not exciting. So yeah, that's weird, actually. Tingle Chest. I didn't know there were 2 Tingle Chests here. So that's something I need to actually look up, because we will definitely need that in a moment. The hidden rupee is located on the first floor of the dungeon in the room with the first warp pot. To reveal it, have Tingle drop a bomb on the steaming crack southwest of the warp pot. Huh. Well, there you go. So I guess we'll have to go back for that. First floor, so I guess we'll do that. No. Then we have to backtrack all the way. It'll take forever. When it says first warp chest, does that mean the one in literally the first room? Or does that mean the one in the first... like, a different warp chest? I'm very, very lost. We're wasting so many rupees. That would've been helpful later. On the tracker for Dragon Roost, it says something like extra tingle chest or something. You need to pop out of the second warp pot, then go across the bridge in that same room and bomb the other side. Huh. So apparently this is a different tingle thing. That's really bizarre, actually, that this is a thing that exists in this game. Watch this be like a super critical item too, knowing my luck. Doesn't say where to bomb on the other side is the other thing, because there's like no shortage of spaces to put a bomb here. Oh, it's just dead center, okay. Like, how are you supposed to find this out? Well, I say that, but the answer is obviously the Tingle Tuner. And that was a waste, okay. And away we go to the boss. So we'll have to see how this goes. We also have way more health and the Master Sword, so hopefully this won't give us too much trouble. Yeah, I'm really confused by why it says we can actually do like 10 checks in the Wind Temple. Like, well, that's not helpful. We're done here. Just double checking, we have everything, so all that's left is, Goma. And we're done. So, we have done 3 dungeons just today. I think, yeah, because we finished Forsaken Fortress, and we did Tower of the Gods, and we did Dragon Roost. Or finished Dragon Roost. Oh, we only got a rupee out of it. That sucks. The worst part is overshooting, obviously, because then it just takes forever, after to realign yourself. But luckily we stopped barely short of it, so we're fine. Yeah, we actually do have everything for Forbidden Woods also, but I don't know if I want to do another dungeon today. We'll save that for next time, which I don't know when that'll be. Dragon Roost. Well, speaking of golden feathers, and a piece of heart, again, we are almost, yeah, we actually are on our 4th row. I should switch these. This is one of those things that's really fun, in my opinion. This is somewhere you never have to go in base game, because I think this is just like 20 rupees or something, so... And frankly, by this point in the original game, you would probably still have the default wallet, meaning you couldn't even carry that many rupees, so rupee chests aren't even that helpful. Like, do not fall. I don't want to have to do this twice. But we're fine. More rupees that we cannot carry. So I need to go and buy something. Once we're done here, I'm gonna go shop. I'm gonna buy the thing at the Rockspire shop to just get it out of the way and also clear out my inventory. It's also weird having the hook shot and grappling hook as separate items. I always found that to be an interesting redundancy of sorts. Because, like, logically, they kind of fill a similar spot in certain games, where it's like the hook shot kind of helps you to reach certain areas, and then trying to come up with, like, separate use cases for both items. Like, I genuinely find that fascinating, to, like, that they were able to, like, come up with two items that were kind of comparable in a way, and still give them a very distinct feel and use cases. Oh, this Wizrobe Cave, I remember now. Alright, we can definitely use a restock, so I'll take all that stuff. And we definitely could use some health, but the other crystals are up there. Ah, another Triforce chart. This has to be 1 or 2, that's the only ones we're missing. We have almost every Triforce chart at this point. Yeah, that's like been my opinion for ages, is like they remind me of toucans, which I actually really like. Aesthetically. Again, it really fits the vibe of Wind Waker, because, like, you know, we are in a more islandy setting, so it's really nice to have, like, more themed. And I wish more Zelda games did that, to be honest. I almost feel like the theming of enemies tends to be a little bit weak for a lot of games. Like, to be perfectly honest, I think a lot of the theming could be better for enemies. Like, more distinct to, like, specific environments. You know, for example, if you have, like, a moblin or something, and it's just, like, it's the same enemy design everywhere, it almost feels a little bit less varied. But it would almost be cool if you could have, like, you know, environmental variants of all the enemies. Like, maybe in a specific area, Wizrobe might be, you know, the classic design, but somewhere else it might be the Wind Waker design in, like, an ocean part of the game. It's actually something, actually, do I want to talk about that? But, like, it is interesting how, like, Echoes of Wisdom, and this was in the trailer, I feel like it's sort of okay to, like, spoiler-wise to talk about. But it is interesting how, like, Echoes of Wisdom does have, like, different designs from classic and modern at different times. Yeah, Metroid does a really good job with that, to be honest, and again, it's something I wish Zelda did more, again, as a Zelda fan. Yeah, Samus Returns is a weird game. I'm very hit or miss on it. I have fond... Well, I can't even say I have fond memories of it, and that's a can of worms I do not want to open up, to be honest. But it is a weird situation of... It felt like a test run, and I mean, it kind of was, to be blunt. It was like 2017, the Switch was out. It just felt like it could have been on Switch and, like, higher budget, and it would have been better off for it, in my opinion. But then Dread came out. There's this weird feeling, like, I almost wish we could get, like, a Metroid 2 remake. Like, it feels really weird to say, but that's genuinely how I feel about it. Because it does feel, like, off to me compared to how... like, Dread felt. And I kind of wish we could have, like, another go at that. But then Metroid 2 is also just kind of a weird game, period. Like, conceptually, it is slightly limiting, just by the nature of, like, being a Game Boy game. But I do feel like they could have done a lot more. Again, whenever you get, like, an original... Oops. Whenever you get, like, an original boss, it's, like, really cool. But there's just not enough of it. And then Dread is that, where it's just, oh, an entire game of all original stuff. Which is, like, great. It feels like it was sort of a test run. Which, again, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but just a case of, like... I'm glad they got their second chance, because from what I gather, Samus Returns didn't do amazingly well, just by the nature of it being a late 3DS game. So I am glad that they did end up getting to do Dread also. Dread is like a fantastic game in my opinion. It's probably my favorite Metroid of the classic style. I'm trying to think of anything else actually. Like, I, nostalgia-wise, would say Zero Mission is probably my favorite Zelda, just because it is, like, the one I sort of started with, I think, maybe? I don't remember if I played Fusion or Zero Mission first, actually. It's been too long. And I don't have either cartridge anymore, so I can't even look that up. It says Southeast Gunboat, but it didn't say which one was the check or not, so we'll just go with both. Not that either actually mattered in that case. I also felt like Samus Returns has kind of a weak atmosphere too, which is a problem for a series that's like 99% atmosphere. That's just kind of like a little flat, I guess, but that's by the nature of it being a 3DS game. Though also I recognize the irony of it feeling a little bit flat despite being on the literal 3D console. And like Prime, I don't know. Yeah, it was just kind of like, yeah, hard for the sake of being hard. It didn't feel satisfying, which is kind of my issue with a lot of games actually. It's just, if it doesn't feel satisfying, then once I get through something really difficult, then I'll just be like, oh wow, I just bashed my head against the wall for a really long time, and all I got was, like, an upgrade. Like, Dread has that problem a little bit, I'd say. There's a couple moments in Dread that are like, specifically Emmy moments, they're just like, this isn't really satisfying to get through. It's just kind of like memorizing the right path to go through via trial and error in a way that doesn't quite hit right for me. But the parts of Dread I do like make up for it, pretty much. And it's like 90% is like really good, so... The main issue I have with Dread is just like, yeah, the difficulty is a little much, but they did also patch in an easy mode, like a half damage mode, so I think that criticism doesn't necessarily hold up as much in my case. Ow. I don't know why I thought that would go any other way. But like, the final boss of Dread is like a skill check fight, where you have to like do a lot of weird stuff that the game teaches you throughout. And I feel like that's the case where it's like, this boss is hard as heck, but once I got through it, it's like, that was fun. But a couple of like the early game fights are just kind of like, this was kind of just annoying more than anything, but Dread's ratio is a lot better than Samus Returns. But yeah, for Prime, I'm kind of like ambivalent towards like rating them, because I kind of feel like I would need to play all three again. It's been years. Like, I played Prime 1 in 2009. I think I played Prime 3 in 2009 too. Fun story, I skipped a lot of games. So yeah, I literally skipped Prime 2 until like 2013 or something. I don't even know why, other than it was a GameCube game. That's probably it exactly, as it was a GameCube game and hard to find, so I ended up just caving and ordering it at some point. But like Prime 1 was like $5. It's one of those stupid games where GameStop put the price sticker on the paper part of the case, so I literally know what price I bought this copy for till the end of time. I can't not get this label off, obviously, without ruining the cover. But then Prime 3 I played around the same time. Hey, Quiver! We have max arrows. I really wish that was a bomb upgrade instead, to be honest. Oh good, that still counted. I got pushed way off of the spot, so I was really hoping it wouldn't, like, totally mess me up there. That was silly. I don't think I've ever seen it happen before, because normally I just clear out all these at the same time. Oh. You got a reward for getting all 5 Tingle statues is 500 rupees. Hey, that is definitely actually worthwhile. Now let's get the hell out of here before we get sniped a bunch. I still have my physical copies of all the Prime games, except the Wii trilogy that GameStop, was GameStop exclusive in, the Steelbook. I don't have that one, just because, fun story, I have a launch model Wii, and it doesn't read like dual layer discs, Brawl stopped working like really fast. And no other dual layer disc would work. So like Xenoblade's the big one. There's also the last story, which was a problem. And I don't know about Pandora's Tower actually. The Operation Rainfall trio. I never played Pandora's Tower. I did play a little bit, and I mean a little bit, of Last Story. Like, maybe an hour and stopped. I wasn't feeling it, unfortunately. Oh shoot, that's a game coming out soon. Fantasian. So, it's Mistwalker, so that reminded me. But, yeah, the studio's also putting out, a new game soon. So I'm interested in Fantasian. It's, again, more up my alley than Last Story was, I think. Gaming-wise, this year, I definitely did not play nearly as much as I had hoped, just trying to save money, basically. Which is a shame, because there were a lot of games I was interested in, it's just I never got around to them. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the big one for me. That is a game that I definitely want to play, but just, I can't justify spending that much on a game that I might not like. I have a very high chance of liking it, but there's still like a small chance I will not vibe with it. And that comes down to not really liking Remake 1 in some ways. Again, Remake 1 is really good, it's just, it has a few parts that grate a little bit. So yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, I could cheat and be like, oh, well, my favorite game of the year is Thousand Year Door. Well, that'd be kind of a cheap answer, because there's already, like, top 5 favorite games of all time. It's like, of course the remake's gonna be one of my favorite games of the year. That's cheating. Again, nowadays I'd probably say Xenoblade 3 is my favorite game in terms of, like, games that emotionally resonated strongly. Or 2 even, it's gotta be up there, but I think 2 has enough problems that keep it from being, like, top favorite, but it's definitely, like, you know, top 25 or so. That's something I've been thinking about doing on stream as a top 20, like, oh wait, we got the final Triforce chart. Or Triforce shard, actually. Hell yeah. So, all we have left is the arrows. Oh. So we have 2 items we need, and 82 places to look. That's gonna suck, actually. Okay. Oh, hey. So that was like a fulfilling quest there, because now we can give the skull necklaces to Maggie's father. A pair. That is not worth it. I don't even know if we have enough rupees for this, but we'll give it a try. I'm gonna go really overkill, just to make sure I get it for sure. I'm gonna bid 401. Because I like having an even number, but also I just don't remember the actual math on stunning them, so err on the side of caution there. And all that for a truck we cannot read. So yeah, we actually made it through 174 checks in total, and about, what would that be, about 60 just today, because I think we started at almost exactly like 114 or something. So yeah, about where I wanted to be for this stream, even though I went like half an hour longer than I was planning to. So I definitely want to save, real quick, for obvious reasons. And alright, that was very productive, actually. I need to actually remember to save this time, because the previous time there was a time where I forgot to save the tracker and had to rewrite everything down.